Hello, everybody. Welcome to the K2 podcast. This week, it's our 19th episode. So, Jay, 19 in, 19 deep. What'd you
19
think?
straight weeks.
Well, that's pretty cool. Today, so last week we had Giovanni Francioso. His name was an Italian name, so it was a little bit tricky to figure out. But this week, we got a special guest with us. Her name is Danielle Dabrio-Carroll. Did I say it right? Okay, all right, excellent. All right, just didn't want to make sure I didn't botch your name.
Like a British rock star from forever ago.
Well, so is this how you would describe yourself, as like dream interpreter and tarot card reader? Because I know you mentioned like I don't like the word medium, like you said that, right?
Well, medium is for people who talk to dead people.
Okay. Okay. Well, some people have that ability. Well, some people have that ability apparently. So I wasn't sure.
What's going on with pussy?
That's pretty funny.
But psychic. I don't really actually use the word like psychic, but
okay. Well, at least I feel. So you say you don't really care to use that word.
yeah, not.
Okay. No, that's good because I shouldn't say that's good, but at least you're forthcoming and honest, because I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, I got psychic abilities and they got all these abilities, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, do you really, or are you just yanking our chain? You don't really know. And I'm not saying that they don't have them. I'm just saying like, I don't know about that. Like, you're suspect, you know what I'm saying? So it's like something to think about. But at least you're like, hey, I don't really prefer that word.
You don't see dead people, guys.
What would you say? Would you say it's more of like an intuition thing for you, or?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's a natural ability.
Yeah, it's like an intuition. Technically, I will tell you I cannot pronounce this word properly.
Okay.
Claircognizant.
I know the word you're saying. It's like cognizant.
Cognizant? I don't know. Like, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Hooked on phonics here, guys.
Yeah, I botched it by as well. Well, that's pretty interesting. So, look, like as we were getting the show prepared to go live and everything, we decided let's do a quick tarot card reading for Jamie here, and you pulled some cards out here. So, tell us a little bit about the cards here.
And these are not set up. She shuffled and then drew them and then staged them.
I'm just gonna put this card up to the camera. Check out some of the artwork on these cards here. They're pretty neat. They're very cool.
And the artworks are different per like a deck, or is it so they're not? It's not like a uniform thing for tarot cards, right?
No,
so they could be different for.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I like that. The cards themselves are always like the same, like the Hierophant, Ace of Cups, but depending on what deck you get,
it's just, like, they can be different arts.
This one, I was just like in the store and I was like, this just.
It spoke to you. It spoke to you.
It was intuition again.
It was because I just like everyone thinks like the artwork's like really creepy looking.
I mean it is a little bit, but like this one's a little creepy. But like this one, like with the crown,
I like
and everything,
the Ace
like
of Cups
this,
one. That's one of my favorite
Check
ones.
this out, guys.
That's tattoo worthy.
Yeah, like that's pretty damn cool card.
Yeah, I like that. I do.
So, all right. So why don't you walk us through what we got here? So this is for Jamie. Jamie, this is the card. She shuffled the deck, mixed them all up, flipped these cards over, and now she's prepared. So let's see what he got.
And this is just a general reading for people at home. This isn't like for a specific question, so you haven't missed anything. So we'll see where this goes. Well, I'm all ears.
Okay. Well, they did all come up reverse. Like I said, that's just like the energy.
Yeah,
like,
all right.
So, like.
It doesn't necessarily mean anything?
Yeah, like a lot of people think like reverse cards, like upright is positive, reverse is negative, and it is positive negative energy, but that doesn't mean good or bad.
Okay.
It's just the opposite. Well, not the opposite, but it's just kind of like the way that it works.
Okay.
So, but negative does not always mean bad.
Don't worry.
Reverse does not mean bad.
Notice how she said that first.
Well, we were talking. Jay was like, "I'm probably gonna get the worst cards of the worst in the deck.
I'm just getting.
He's gonna get Death, the Grim Reaper." Right. All right. So give us a rundown. What we got here?
Okay, so with them all in their reverse form, it's pretty much all about self.
Okay.
Like not like almost like all of it is internal.
Okay.
None of it has anything that has to do with like external factors at all.
Okay.
Just to make sure that I have all this together. But it does have a lot to do with self. repressed emotions, feeling like something is missing.
Ooh.
Okay. Thank you for commenting on my life. Like, thank you. I didn't realize I had a commentator.
I got excited
Thank
for no
you.
reason. All right, go ahead.
I was like
go
Joe
ahead.
Rogan all weekend.
So it's just like repressed emotions, feeling like something is missing, even though it looks like you have like everything.
Okay.
Like kind of like everything is like going the way that from a third point of view would look like everything's all cool, everything's going exactly like the way you want it to, but you feel like something is not there.
Interesting. What do you think? What do you got to say? All right, third. Before you respond, I'm gonna say this is spot on.
So I was gonna say I'm gonna use a bad pun here and just say all cards on the table. You see what I did there? Cards
Nice
on the table.
joke, Jay.
All right,
Kudos.
Just want to make sure you caught on. But I mean, it seems fairly spot on for the most part. Like I could see how third party looking in it would seem that things are together and I got everything I need. But yeah, I could say that there's something. What was the word? Repressed. Yeah, I could say there's some repressed things there, for sure.
Yeah, and then so with this one, again, it's like with like a lot of self, it's saying that you're not gonna find it on the outside.
Okay.
So it's showing a lot of needing like self-development. Like you're coming into a newfound form of self-development.
That's creepy.
That's creepy.
The reason why this creeps me out, people, is because
creepy.
it's pretty accurate. So recently, and I don't know what it was. So I used to drink about 9-12 packs in a given month of Mountain Dew all day, every day. That was my water. And here recently, about maybe 2-3 months ago, I've just one day just said, I'm done. I don't drink no more soda unless there's absolutely nothing to drink. And I've done that, and I don't want to say I'm working out fitnessly all the time, but I'm trying to better my body. I've thought about all right, I need to go and actually see a doctor, get a thorough check, because it's been since I was in the Navy. Stuff really been 10 years ago, basically. So I'm just trying to work on myself a little bit, as you say, and just I guess like you said, try to find something not on the outside. But yeah, I'm working on me. So far it's creepily.
Even though, I told you, even though the cards are reversed, that does not mean that they're bad.
Right. I guess it's all about like you said, interpretation of how you see it, but they're not bad at all so far.
So because it's saying that that all of these opportunities and everything is within your reach, but you just need to basically keep working on it and not let anything on the outside affect you, which is where the Hierophant comes in.
Okay.
Because the Hierophant is saying how no longer needing anyone's outside approval for yourself.
So you don't need. Can I see this card here? I'm just going to show that to the camera. So this is the card she's talking about, the Hierophant, and it's very cool artwork on that one as well.
Yeah, that one looks negative as I don't know what. I promise you that one. It does not look like a positive card. But...
Well, because upright, it usually means following the status quo.
Okay.
But
since it's
when it's reversed, it's more like not needing someone outside. You're doing that's what all of them is about, inner self.
Right.
So it's doing it for you, not for anybody else, and that'll be the way that you'll be able to achieve it.
Okay.
That's pretty dope.
That is. It is not. I'm not disappointed. I didn't get death, guys, so that's a win. But yeah, it's fairly spot on. So my question to you: have you finished?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't know if we've gone through them all or how that worked, but
now will be the questions part.
all right.
Usually.
So one of my questions is, how does the cards bind to me specifically? How can you lay out cards and know that these ones were meant for me and not for producer or Kevin?
Well, because I asked for you.
Okay. Oh, so
She
that's
drew-
how it works.
yeah,
So
she
when
draws.
you draw the card, you're speaking to your
Yeah.
intuition, for example, or whatever it is, the higher powers or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
I specifically asked for you.
Okay.
But the question that I did ask was, what does JB need to know?
Okay.
That's a pretty
I mean, but I'm baffled because it's like the reading I didn't. It's like the reading I didn't know I needed. I didn't know I needed it because it is eye-opening in a way because like you said, I'm working on myself to be a better person and self-worth and so forth and cutting out soda out of my life and I'm working on me trying to be healthier and stuff like that and not need a cane by the time I'm in my 30s.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason we decided to do the podcast as well, to self-improvement, learn about others, learn more about ourselves, build connections, and all of that stuff. Right. So it's able to, by talking to people like yourself or other people, we're able to reflect on those meetings and kind of look within and decide, like you said, it's not so much what the viewers might say, what people are gonna tune in, or what are they gonna comment. It's about, hey, this is the conversation we're having, this is what we're talking about, and then we have a chance to reflect within ourselves to kind of make sense of it all and kind of grow from that. So, and it seems we have a viewer here, Michaela, as well, that said that the death card is for transformation, like you said earlier, because we talked about the death card pre-show, so she warned me that it doesn't always mean death.
Doesn't mean death.
Right, yeah. So I'm not completely SOL.
Yeah. That's my that's one of my favorite.
You did say that before the show.
She did say it's one of her favorites, so it doesn't necessarily mean positive or negative, like you say. So now you say we're at the questions part. I wonder, so I can ask you a question, and then you can. See if all right, I think I'm going to ask what everybody wants to know. What does the future hold for myself? Is that a vague?
Well, she don't have a crystal ball.
No, but maybe the cards can say, like, if this one comes up, what is it, like Magic Gathering? I get greed pot or something, pot of gold. I don't know. How is that too vague?
With the future, like the way that I look at it, like with the future, you can ask, like, what would be like the most likely outcome.
Okay.
But the future's not set in stone.
Correct. I mean, I could. Yeah.
So So usually when I do with divinations, with the pendulum or the tarot cards, you would ask what would be the most likely outcome, and it would be what the outcome would be if the path continues the way that it is currently.
Gotcha.
But every time you make a decision, it's gonna.
That's true. Right. It's a tree. It's like roots.
It's gonna branch off to something.
Right.
Else. So
it starts at a trunk and then it just branches out.
So not to derail us here, but when you come to those decisions, when it comes down to the decision that you have to make, because oftentimes when you're faced with a decision, and I think everybody can probably attest to this, but usually when I'm faced with a decision, I have what I want to do, what I know I should do, and what you get all of these things, and is there anything that I don't know how to put the wording to this, but is there anything so what you're saying is okay, based upon those decisions might be whichever path it takes you. How should you make that decision? Are you saying should you just go with what aligns with you, in your makes you feel hey, this is the right decision, this makes me feel more whole and complete? Or do you think it could be one of those things because sometimes you hear about you know what, I was something was telling me not to go in there, but you know what,
so it's choosing one of the lesser evils.
Maybe, but maybe where you say, you know what, I got $1 left, I probably shouldn't spend it, but let me buy a lotto ticket, and let's say you buy it, and you probably shouldn't do that, but you did it, and the next thing you know, you hit a big winner, so is there anything, I know you can't say, okay, yeah, you should do this and you should do that, but my more important question would be, I guess, is there any...
Which lottery ticket should we purchase?
Yeah, that too, but more is there something that we should try to tap into or listen to when it comes to determining your decisions?
That would be intuition versus ego.
I face that sometimes. I think we
all kind of do, though. I think that's a crossroad that most people bear is intuition versus your ego.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I base a lot of my decisions on my intuition, which most people look at and go, you probably shouldn't make that decision. But it's worked out pretty well. Last year, I took a job in North Carolina, and something was just saying, just do it. And all my friends were like, you don't have a place to live.
Right.
Don't really technically have a car right now. And I had to lie to them and tell them, give them an address in North Carolina, because they were only hiring people who lived in North Carolina at the time.
Interesting.
Because of COVID, they were only hiring people who lived in North Carolina,
right,
instead of having people travel from outside the state. So I lied about my address, told them I already lived there, had to go there and figure out like living situation and everything. I was like,
but did
it'll
you?
be fine.
Well, that's what I said. You felt like something might be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah,
And it worked out.
I just had like a feeling of just like, I was like, this just feels like something that I should do. I
Interesting.
just went with it, and it worked out It actually worked out really, really well. And I'm still with the organization now.
Pretty
So.
good. Nice. It worked. I guess like you said, you
Like-
followed your intuition.
So it kind of like, because a lot of people like they're like your ego would like get in the way. Like if I had listened to that, I'm like, well, you don't have a place to live up there. Like your car's your car's like in the shop, but you can't like really drive. Like this doesn't sound like a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So then if I had listened to that and the reasonable
Right.
actual part,
Right.
then I would have missed out
That's a great point.
on that opportunity.
That's a great point. Like if you let it get into like you said, you listen to that rational voice. You know, sometimes it does take a little bit of irrational and just following your gut instinct. And that's again, you know, I don't want to keep bringing up the harping on the podcast thing, but like this was an intuition thing. It's like sometimes like, yo, I feel led to do this. You know,
Right.
like where it comes from, or I can't really say. Maybe it's intuition, you know, but it's something I was led to do. Like I was like, hey, I can meet people this way. I can have conversations. I can learn about things and educate myself and become like it helps me in so many different facets, you know, so many different benefits you can get from it. So it's kind of interesting that you bring that up.
Yeah, because it's kind of like how some people do things subconsciously, but they still don't even realize they're doing it.
Yeah, I've had that before. Funny, you know what's a perfect example of that? Have you ever been driving and then like you're on your way to work, tired as shit, and then you're like, you get to work and like, how the hell did I get here? You know that happens to me all the time.
It used to happen to me when I was in the Navy all the time.
Yeah.
I wake up at work and I'm
Driving
like an
on
hour and a half
autopilot.
late and I'm just knocked in the parking lot like, what the fuck?
I feel like I drove on autopilot. You
The
know
worst
what I'm
part
saying?
is I gotta go on base, so I done drove through a whole security check.
That's
and don't even
terrible.
remember that bit. I wake up at the parking lot outside my ship like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Clueless.
That's
All
hilarious.
the time.
So, moving on a little bit. So when we first were talking and getting ready for the show and stuff, you were like, hey, you know, I'm not opposed to doing like maybe some dream interpretations for people that, you know, if anybody wants to write in. So I had a couple people write in some things, and you've already kind of tapped into it a little bit, so we'll just kind of hit on the key points. But the first person here, I don't want to reveal his name, he wanted to remain anonymous, but this is the first dream that was sent in, and he goes, in my dream, a cloud of purple smoke was being billowed. And this guy likes to be a writer. He lit all out. He pulled out all this stuff. Yeah, billowed. But he goes, in my dream, a cloud of purple smoke was being billowed through my whole perception, like someone was sending it directly to me. And it had a perfume-like smell, and it was an unfamiliar smell. But the smell was so strong that it actually woke me up out of my dream. But then when I woke up, I couldn't smell it anymore. It's almost like it was almost like the smell was being blown directly at me, and I can't make sense of this. Can you provide any insight?
So, yes, we did talk about that one. I said that purple does represent royalty.
Right, because he said the purple smoke. And it's interesting because, like I mentioned, the particular person is somebody, I wouldn't say they're royalty, but it's somebody of status, you know, and it's so it's kind of interesting you picked up on that. But okay, I'll let you keep going here. It's like, so he goes on to say he's got this strong smell, and you know, he said in fact it made his sinuses run a little bit as well. Because I had we asked some follow-up questions, and he was like, yeah, like the smell almost felt really strong and real. So what would you? Can you say anything to that, or is there anything?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So the fact that it's like smoke, because smoke is non-clarity, and you had said that with this person of status, he's unsure where they stand with their relationship. Like what you had said there. So have it being like thrown directly like at him, he's not like sure. Like where, like what's going on with him? Like, is it
What's the status? And that's actually
is it up, down, and then how the smell clears up his senses.
Interesting. So what do you think that, how would that correlate exactly? Like, so where the smell is clearing up his senses, do you think that makes it seem like he's getting more clarity on the relationship, or it's to come maybe, or it's opposite?
I mean, I think he would like clarity.
Yes, he would. He really would.
He really
I
would.
think he would like clarity, and that's why the scent is being sent to him.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like we need to have a conversation.
Yeah, well, you know, she's a busy girl.
Yeah.
She's always on the move and like always doing her own thing. And sometimes I feel for him because he really likes her, and he feels a deep connection for her, and that, and like
he feels a more spiritual connection.
Yeah.
To her. He doesn't feel that he feels like this is like meant to be set up before time in a sense. You know, like
Yeah.
it is his one and true being of his connection. There is no other option.
That's how he's going about it. So
Right.
it's interesting but like a lot of what you said is kind of like right spot on with it. Like
It
it's
is.
really, you know, I think because with the clarity portion of it, that's pretty accurate.
It's very accurate.
Yeah, that's
actually.
pretty
'Cause I
accurate.
know the individual as well. We've spoken about it, and yeah, it's actually
Yeah,
very
seems like-
accurate.
Seems to be something that's like weighing on his mind a lot.
Yeah. Oh, he
it's
prays
constant.
on it. He dreams about it. He's got. Yeah. It takes up
He's
that
got
portion of his life.
dreams
He writes to her often. You know.
Mhm.
So that's kind of interesting. So I know you said you don't really talk to the dead, right? Okay. Make sure honest with it, because there's some people that be like, yeah, I got to speak to spirits, and they, you know, and maybe some people have that ability, but also I know some people, they just, you know, they trying to maybe make a buck. I don't know, like whatever, you know, how you put it in. But one of our guests just wrote in, one of our viewers said, hey, would you ask her if any of your ancestors or spirit guides want to come through, and if they have any messages or anything
for
you?
us. Or
So, but that's not really your realm of expertise, right?
Like they're asking?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So the question
So-
was right here. Sure.
So I don't know if they really mean it specifically for them. Because they want to know if they have any messages for ya speaking towards us.
Oh, yeah, I think about y'all, but
Yeah.
no,
Not
that
your
is
realm.
not-
That's out of your
that-
wheelhouse.
Yeah, that is not my...
Would have been interesting though.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
I need to know who my spirit guide is right motherfucking meow. Cause
Right meow.
right now. Because that asshole has screwed me over plenty of times. He did not spirit guide me no way. Alright, that person got me all messed up.
All right, so we'll go
He
on
took a day
to
off.
another dream. So this one, since Jamie had the tarot card reading,
I did.
I'll give a little bit about my dream, okay? Now, this one is a little bit sketchy, all right? Because this is
Sketchy?
putting myself out on Front Street a little
What, did
bit.
it turn into a spaghetti noodle or something?
No, that would probably be, I'd much rather read that one, to be honest with you.
Just looping around.
All right, so
a meatball.
I had a dream that I was sleeping, and then I woke up, and then when I woke up, I was still dreaming, though. You know, I don't know if that says anything, but that
It's called
was...
Inception.
Is that what it's called, for real?
A dream in a dream.
That's really what it was. Because I woke up, and then I was sleeping, woke up. It's almost like I went to sleep and woke up in the dream. You get what I'm saying? It was like kind of weird, but that's basically a dream in a dream. All right, so I had this dream inside of a dream, okay? And while I was still dreaming that, you know, and I woke up, I wake up and I'm laying on, like, I want to say like a cot, a couch, something like that. Small room, similar to the little studio here, and I look up and I see the whole roof ripped off of our house, okay? Or the one shack. It was like the Courage the Cowardly Dog little shack out there, you know? It was just one shack. The roof is ripped off. Half of the walls are missing. You can start to see like the struts in the or the studs in the middle of the wall and stuff where drywall is getting ripped off. And my daughter's laying in the crib, okay? And it's just me and her, no one else. It's just me and her, no one else is in the stream. My daughter's in the crib, and I wake up, my only thought is to go over to her and lay on top of her in this crib. Now, normally I'm not a person that has a lot of dreams, you know? Like, I'll or I should say, I think they say you always have a dream, you just don't remember them. But I never remember them if that's the case, you know?
I
was
go
like,
to sleep, I wake up.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I don't really have a lot of dreams, you know, but this one was one that stuck out and then I woke up and I really remembered, you know? So like Is there anything that any insight on that you can think of?
I think I said something about the dream in a dream.
I do remember you mentioning that at first when we first went over it. We were talking about the dream inside of a dream, which was kind of like I've had that happen only a handful of times, not very many times. Like
I don't
when
think
I
I've ever had a dream in a dream.
where you like woke up inside of a dream.
How was it? Did you like go to sleep?
Yeah.
And you saw yourself sleeping and like stepped inside of your
No,
body?
it's
or
more
did you,
like where
you fell asleep
and woke
and
up
then-
in the dream. So it's like you
How-
close
how
your
do you
eyes
wake
and you
up
wake
in
up
a dream?
It's like an alternate world. It's
What,
like
you like a lucid
It's like you went
dreamer?
through a portal.
Did you
to
know
a
you were
portal?
dreaming?
Kinda, but it felt really real.
So it's like a
But
lucid
it's like
dream.
you got like this. I won't say
Yeah,
cloudiness.
like were you like? That's a good question. Like, were you aware that you were in the dream?
Right. Like,
Kind
no,
of.
it's not
It's
a kind of.
felt-
You need to know. Where you,
Well, it felt very real, but it's like one of those things where I knew that it couldn't be real. You know what I'm saying? It's like this done.
Well,
this
I've
ain't
done it
real.
before. I know I've had a dream, and I'm like, I'm dreaming. I need to wake up. I need to wake up, and I have to tell myself like 50 times before I actually wake myself up. But
I've never had that.
I
I've never
know-
had
I know
that.
I'm in a dream.
Well, do you have something about the dream inside of a dream?
Yeah, 'cause I think what I said about that one was like, because like your dream is technically your own creation.
Okay.
Which is why I was telling you that the dream and the dream like kind of like represent like a fantasy, which is why I was asking about the wands.
Interesting. Well, so for me, it's more so what you're referring to as far as the want. You're like, hey, you know, where like we talked a little bit about the mother of my child and us not being together, because you're like, there seems like there could be a little bit more to this. Like, are you leaving any details out? You asked me, and I was like, no, I'm not really leaving any details out, other than the fact that, you know, me and her mother aren't really together. And also, I never envisioned, you know, quote unquote, raising a child in a broken home. You know, that's not really my goal. When I had a child, that was not my goals or decision. Like, that wasn't my intentions. You know, I always was like, no, I need to have a family. Like, that's pretty much how I was raised for the most part, you know? So that's the only thing I can chalk it up to as.
And I think that may have been the missing piece. It didn't really seem like after that there was like anything that I needed to put it together. Like I said, the tornado would represent like external factors that you do not have control over. That happened.
I could see that. I could see that.
and like you using your own body to shield her from the tornado. What did I say about that one? That was kind of like you wanting to protect her from those things, but you can't.
I could see that.
That's
I do.
interesting.
Yeah, I do try to, and maybe I can't. Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, like you're trying to protect her from things you can't control.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
It's not. It's like it's pretty good. It's pretty accurate. I mean, it's not wrong. I'd have to say you're on point with that. I mean,
Hit his ass with a tarot card reading. Hit his ass. Smack some cards on the face. Hit his ass up.
You got decent cards. I would not want to know what
Too late.
cards I'm
We're
gonna
taking
get.
it to the cards. Shuffle them up.
Man. Are you able to do another reading, or would you need a little bit of time? We don't have to put you on the spot to do it. You know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can, but again, it'll be like 5 or more minutes of like silence. But
That's fine. Me and
we
can.
banter.
Yeah, we can chalk it up. Because you know, and I hate to excuse our language because you know I don't mean to be disrespectful. You're a female, and you know I want to be polite to you. But
How sexist.
Jake, while you do this, we're gonna talk about something, and I'll
Is it
try.
about these nuts guy?
Yes.
He did.
Did you know? Have you heard that guy, the gentleman who did the viral video that was like "These nuts"?
Got it.
You remember that guy?
Oh,
Okay. Well, it was like a viral video on the internet, and like that was like his thing, and he went all out and like what do you call it? Apparently, you said they found his
They
body.
found him they found him dead in a street.
Are you sure about
Absolutely
that?
sure about that.
I don't know if that's
Absolutely
accurate.
sure about that. His name is something wonky though.
It was a.
It's debunked. It was a hoax.
Yeah,
Oh,
I told
no.
you.
It was everywhere.
Yeah, it was a hoax.
Oh, it's
you
a
got
hoax.
fake news.
Fake news. This is
You got
fake
fake news.
Ha! They got me.
Yeah, that's the dude. You never seen this image there? You don't remember this guy? Have you ever seen that guy?
Just drag it over to the
We'll see if we can
Actually
get.
haven't, which is weird because I like memes.
Oh, really?
Oh, that was a popular
you're missing
one.
out on-
He
These
used to
Nuts
do
is
like
the
the
classic.
got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he would like do a
Nuts.
joke. Like you would make like a. So you were like, hey, Jay, do you like CDs? And then you'd be like, CDs? And you'd be like, got him, CDs nuts. You know, something like that. So childish. It was like a high school thing we used to do
Or
back
if you
in
like
kids.
dragons, they'll be like, yeah, I like dragons. So you like when I drag these nuts across your face?
That's a little
That's a
rough.
good one.
That's really rough. Sorry you had to experience that. Sorry.
I mean, there really is there's a lot out
Jeez.
there. These nuts,
I'm about to get the devil card because I'm going to hell after this one. Like,
devil card?
yes, like, jeez.
They'll probably get the pot of greed.
Lord. Like, that is not good.
I just need to know where to invest.
So-
Go to those cards.
Where to invest? Yeah, can you give us some investment
Oh, okay.
tips?
So we got the
I mean,
this
if I
guy
could-
here. We got the These Nuts guy pulled up right there. It's not a clip or anything, but for folks at home that don't know, similar to
If
our
I could-
reader here.
If I could figure out which stocks to invest in with these.
Yeah, no kidding.
She's I wouldn't be sitting here for one.
Yeah, like, you think I'd be on you guys' podcast?
Number two, I'm not telling you.
Which one do general?
A general reading or specific?
I feel like I should do the general. I would do a specific, but I feel like it limits it. I'd rather do general because then
But the
it
general's
opens
probably
up.
going to tie into your specifics as
Well,
well.
the reason why I choose general is because, like you said, I get to ask, like, what should I let him know? And I feel like that's much more important than me trying to inquiry about something more.
Specific.
Like, I'd rather have the opportunity to be told something that I maybe wasn't anticipating or expecting versus, you get what I'm saying? Like, so I think that would be pretty cool.
I think so too. That's
Yeah.
why I went with general.
That's why you went with general? Well,
In a way, yeah, because it tells me, like you said, it's telling me what I need to know. And if I ask something specific, it's probably not the answer I'm looking for. So I'd rather not know. I just kind of live my life. But general kind of allows me to see everything and anything.
right. And while we got a minute here, I did want to say we actually started up a Patreon. We've had it for like a little
Right,
while,
it's
but
on
we've
there.
just been tweaking it and stuff like that. I'm actually going to add the Patreon link into the description. So that way I can, if you guys want to support the show, I think it's little as what, $5, right?
Right.
Is it $5?
I think the lowest one is $5, and you can even by helping, we'll call it donating to the podcast, you gain so much as well, whether it be swag items or whatever you want to call it, like shirts. I think we may have a hat or two. We have some bags. We got all
Access
kinds
to
of stuff.
Discord.
Access to our Discord,
Yep.
where you can just shoot the shit with us or whatever. Get exclusive whenever we're like setting up. Sometimes we go live in the Discord. You can check that out and see what we're up to, pre-show, after show. Just all the ins and outs. You can see on Patreon what you get for what you donate. So it's
Yeah, I'll actually get that link in the description of the video once we're wrapped up with the show. But I'll
Right.
see if I can actually put.
you probably
the
could throw it
link.
in the chat.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
can throw it up in the chat. But it could be pretty cool. So Jay, you've gotten a motorcycle now.
I did get a
Yeah,
motorcycle.
how's that been going for you? Been like
Well, that all depends.
Route 66 in your Levi's, or what's it been like? Because when I look, so funny story.
No,
when
this is actually 100% by chance. that this
I
happened.
know.
I
But
know where you're going.
Yeah, well, I drove
This
up.
is so
I was
funny.
coming back, running an errand on my way back here. So
And
we
I was
could-
on my way here.
Yeah, so we can meet for the podcast. I end up behind this dude at the street light.
Pulled
and
up
all I
right
see-
behind me at the street
Yeah,
light.
but this is what he does though. He starts like stretching his legs out.
Yeah,
like I was like, what's he got?
adjusted-
What's he got? Like
adjusted.
saddle rash or something?
well,
What's he going on?
I ride like 30 minutes to get here, so I was pushing my pants down because I'm doing 80 on the highway or whatever.
So it's like a
the wind
G-string.
kind of pushes. No, it ain't like that. I'm sitting like that, like I'm wide. I'm not riding up on me.
It looked
It's
a little
just I'm pushing them
uncomfortable.
down. It is very comfortable, but
No, uncomfortable.
oh no, it's not uncomfortable.
It's
at
not
all.
okay
The
because
first
you were
day
like
was a little
stretch. I was like,
uncomfortable.
dang, he's looking
No,
like
it's
he's
not that. I'm
struggling.
just pushing my pant leg down
Oh,
because the wind
okay.
pushes them up. I'm doing 80. That's 80 miles per hour wind. I don't have wind guards.
What's
or
it like riding a bike and stuff? Because that's-
Sketchy.
Really?
Yeah.
Or
everywhere I
people
go.
are a little like you
People-
hear stories like they don't look
I
for
don't have
people.
people riding on my ass too much or anything, but I have people that want to people go around you or whatever, and they don't realize when they do that that draft wind is a real thing, and bikes don't really draft.
Well, you're
but
also
when they
not
push
to,
around
like-
me, the wind pushes me.
Well, this isn't like a shade comment or anything, but it's like also like you're fairly new to the game, so you're still getting
this is my first
comfortable,
motorcycle,
learn a
right.
lot,
So
like
I
and
don't
people
really
like
typically go
you're not
over
like you're
70 too
fucking
much.
juicing it.
I mean,
yeah.
well, I've juiced it a couple times. I got to 100 on the way here at least.
No,
once or
don't
twice.
say that, man.
At least once or twice.
You're gonna be looking for him. His
Make
license
it look
plate is
for him.
X349. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
That'll
kidding.
benefit you none. But regardless, it is. I am newer to riding motorcycles and stuff of this caliber for sure. I've ridden dirt bikes and all kinds of other.
Speaking of dirt bikes, you ever remember that time I got whiskey throttle? Is that what they call it?
No, that's exactly what you did. You went through a freaking privacy fence.
Yeah, like one time I was
an
driving.
entire privacy fence.
Yeah,
Went
so-
through it, landed in a pool.
Yeah, it was weird because I was driving.
It was like a full video
this
from
kid's dirt bike, and he's like, "Yeah, man, have that," and I'm getting it.
And
like,
the worst part is it wasn't even a short one. He drove from the person's yard across the street into their yard, through a fence into their pole in the backyard. This dude cleared a full yard and a drive, like a road.
I don't know what.
Full-fledged whiskey throttle for like a solid 70 feet, man. Like, it was ridiculous.
I can't really explain it. It
was
was really
hilarious.
weird, and I don't know why I couldn't stop. It was like my body
The
was.
thing is, he let off the clutch too fast, so it jerked him, and then when he got stuck, he was just throttling.
I don't
like this.
think. No, I think it was automatic. That's what's even
No, you
worse.
can't whiskey throttle in automatic.
Yeah.
No, it's when you hit that gear, man. That's when it pulls you back. Automatics don't pull you
I don't know.
back.
I feel like I hit
Unless it's got like gnarly torque or something.
I think it had gnarly torque, or
No,
I
it
just
don't.
wasn't
It's
ready
a
for
dirt
it.
bike,
First
man.
gear is always the worst.
First gear is the worst, but that's only
It
when
could
you're.
have been
when
a first.
It's first gear. You let off that clutch too fast, and it just. But he ain't pop a wheelie or anything. But it may have popped up, but it didn't wheelie. But
It
he-
could have. It
that's
could
the
have been a
problem
first
with it.
gear
It
situation.
had to be. It has to be because automatics don't do that. You just drive like a car, man. It just goes.
I don't think they have dirt bike automatic.
No, they do.
Yeah, they do.
They got
I'm
automatic.
pretty sure it was an automatic. I
It
can't
wasn't.
really remember.
I'm almost 90,000% sure.
Dude,
it
I
wasn't,
remember
but-
driving through that fence. Good thing I did have a helmet on. That helped.
Yeah.
And I remember
What,
like,
break the fence?
yeah, that's what exactly what I did. I did like this.
Could you imagine
Bow!
it be like
Just
a
run-
Roadrunner thing where the coyote walks in and hits the fucking boo? Thought he'd get to a tunnel. Just
It was
smacks the
wild.
board.
It was wild. But this is like an interesting episode to have like the tarot card reading because I think it's something that. What can I say?
It's an eye opener, and it kind of makes you confront your reality.
Or yeah, or at least makes you start pondering and thinking
That's
some
true.
stuff too. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Because with yours, I mean, it was kind of spot on.
I mean, no, it was spot on. There wasn't.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you
couldn't
like
say
a lot
there
of
was any
self-reflecting.
discrepancy. Yeah, and self-repressed or whatever the word was, but yeah, it was definitely tricky.
oh gosh, you're making
Interesting.
faces over there. I got scared. What cards did I get?
You got a bonus card. I didn't get a bonus card.
Yeah, so this one when I was
I got
Like,
a
yeah,
bonus.
This ain't got a bonus
Well,
card.
'cause
That's some
what-
bullshit.
Well, when I put them together, I didn't see this one.
Okay.
I guess somehow it missed getting put back in.
So does that mean it stays? That means it's snuck into
Well-
the group, or not really?
Well, if it didn't want to go back in, then there's a reason.
Oh Lord, oh Lord. Well,
This man got a bonus
I
card.
got a bonus card.
Like, if it didn't want to go back in
All
the
right.
deck, then there's a reason why it didn't want to go back in the deck.
Let's show him the bonus card here. Let's get the bonus
bonies.
card up. Let's see here. He's gonna put the.
Oh, and that does not look positive.
No, that's
That's a bunch of pentagrams from a tree and a witch with a bloody knife. There's nothing good coming from the
you
bonus
don't
card.
know that.
Nothing good comes from that bonus
Let
card
our
right there.
guests tell us that, because I'm feeling.
And then
good
you got
about
like
it.
a jester.
Well, Pentacles is the Earth sign. Like it represents like worldly things.
All right, well we'll see.
All right,
So yeah, because for all of them, there's Pentacles, Cups, Wands, and oh my gosh, what's the last one? I'm like blanking.
that's
Because
crazy.
Pentacle, because the Pentacles represent Earth.
Okay.
Cups represents water.
Okay.
Wands represents fire.
Okay.
And then swords. Swords represents air.
Okay. Interesting. You're
So-
you're schooling me on some shit. All right.
All right,
Cool.
let's hear.
Are you prepared to give me the reading?
Yes, I think for the most part, I think I got what.
All right,
what,
let's hear
what
it.
What they're trying to say.
Okay.
This is interesting.
And I got the bonus.
And you got
You
the.
get the bonus.
Is
Yeah.
it, but I mean, like, is it a bonus?
We're
Though?
gonna find out.
It is a bonus.
Did you really get a bonus? We'll see where this goes.
well, the wheel of fortune is pretty self-explanatory. It's good luck, karma.
Okay.
So that's good.
Good
All
luck
right, so let me
karma.
show him the good luck karma
like,
card.
like good karma.
Okay, so it's good karma then. All right.
That's the good luck, good karma. All right,
Yeah,
I'll
so
take
it's
that.
like the card of like good luck. Like so, like if you're which is funny because there's another one about coming from like the Wheel of Fortune came up because it's one of the other cards is talking about coming from not really say like a bad place, but like the Wheel of Fortune is representing a turning point.
Okay.
Interesting.
So it's not so like it's kind of like saying like one of the other cards is talking about like coming from like I don't want to say a bad place, but coming from someplace different.
I mean, okay, so I mean,
So-
I won't say you're right, probably not a bad place, but definitely there is some to that where, I could see myself going, a turning point. I mean, literally what it
pivoting.
is. Yeah, pivoting,
He's
Because,
pivoting.
like I said before, I never envisioned myself as a single father. I'm having to basically, I won't say learn on my own, but it's like I'm kind of figuring it out as I go. There's no handbook for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. And then, also career-wise, I want to, with the podcast and, trying to, get more on my, do something that I want to do and put my own passion to instead of working just this 9 to 5 and grinding it out.
Is it kind of like, does it stem from like something from your past in some type of way?
What are you referring to? What do you mean?
Well, because with the Six of Cups, a lot of times it can reflect back to nostalgia, childhood memories, kind of like things in the past. It doesn't necessarily be childhood memory, but it's kind of like.
So I'm not. Are you referring to as far as my future goals and aspirations, or are you referring to Because I'm a little I don't know how to exactly answer that correctly.
Yeah, I think maybe that question needs some more context as far as something nostalgic. Are you like you said? Are you thinking something career and aspiration wise, or is it something that
Or where does it come from?
Where
Because
does
as
it
far as
drive
my drive, I've always considered myself as an entrepreneur. And you want to talk about intuition, like we were talking at the beginning of the show.
It could be because your bonus card is about
Bonus card.
Yes, because your bonus card is about long-term goals and sustainability.
okay?
Okay. That's
That-
interesting.
That is the bonus card.
That's interesting because maybe that's what I've been so this has been we were talking about intuition at the beginning of the episode. Now this is going to sound a little bit narcissistic or something like that, but I've always felt like I'm got something bigger planned than just a 9 to 5 working every day and then just going to my grave. You know what I mean? Not like the whole rat race ordeal. I felt like I was meant to do something a little bit better than just in the rat race of things and just grinding it out 24, or I should say 9 to 5 instead of 24/7. But, I always felt like I was called to do something more than just that. So that's interesting card, or the way to put it, because I could possibly see that.
That is interesting because with the star card, like I said, 'cause the star card is the card about coming from a different place,
Okay.
like not necessarily like a bad place, but just like a turning point
Sure.
place, and it also represents renewed hope.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
But is that a good thing, renewed hope, or is that could be good? Because obviously
Hope
renewed
is
hope
hope
sounds
is
pretty.
always good.
Yeah, that's what I say. Renewed hope kind of sounds good off the bat, but I guess I'm kind of trying to go too far into the future because I'm thinking, okay, but what's hope getting me? And what did the guy say last week? You shit in one hand and you poop in the other. What you got is still
But
doing the same.
Hope gets you everything.
I guess that's true. That's what keeps it going. I guess that's
Hope,
true.
Hope is important. Hope gives you everything. Hope is what keeps people going.
Right.
Because you see your future, and as long as you have the hope for the future, you can keep striving for that goal.
That's true.
Because if you can't envision it, then how can you achieve it? If you can't
I mean,
see
that's
it.
true. Imagination's key, right? At least that's what it gets it going, getting all the key. Okay, all right. So I got that was the star card, right?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. And then we had the bonus card. And am I missing any other? Did we miss any
Your old
other
jester.
cards? Oh, what about the Hanged Man? Oh, that's scary. Because that sounds like all this hope led up to being hanged at the end, and it didn't work out. That's what I'm getting off of this.
So,
That's what I'm
like,
getting from it too.
Like, yeah,
Well,
you had all that hope, and it just, you collapsed.
Fizzled out.
Yeah.
well, upright, the hangman is pretty much like from the way that I perceive it, it's kind of like a hurry up and wait card when it's upright. Because it's like you've already done everything that you need to do, but cause either way you're in suspended action.
That's true.
But upright, it's like you've already done everything. You've planted all the seeds, and now all you can do is just wait. For
Hurry
them
up
to,
and wait.
Hurry up and wait. Just wait for them to take growth.
That's interesting.
And root.
Not
I
bad.
wonder how relatable that is to the podcast.
Yeah.
Feel
But
free
that
to
is it
subscribe.
upright. Reverse, which I don't usually get it reversed often.
Uh-oh.
But
Oh, all right. Yeah,
Mean
it
bad.
is. I freaked out for a second. A little bit of a freak out. I got
Probably means
scared.
bad. She said it doesn't always mean bad. Don't mean it won't be. Dun dun dun.
but
We don't want to hear nothing from you because you're next, there, producer.
But it is always a card of suspended action because he's tied up and he's hanging in the air. He can't really do anything.
Right.
So I'm basically just like, look, you don't stress yourself out. You've done what
Yeah.
you could do. You just.
Well, that's it upright. With it reversed.
Oh,
I'd
gosh.
say- it's saying it's still suspended, but it's saying you take a moment and pause
Ooh, that's interesting too.
and to think about things from a different alternate perspective.
Ooh.
Okay. Understand that.
So stop being an asshole and get a new perspective.
I can see that.
But but it also could have to do with your like you envision it like your long term
Yeah.
goals.
Hmm.
So it's like
That is so intertwined in a good way because, like you said, it could if it's entwined with that card about his perspectives and so forth and his long term goals, but this one is saying to what am I looking for? To for instance, his long term plan, and the one that's suspended saying to turning point. That's what I was saying. It's a turning point. So his long term goals could be to say get a new perspective at this turning point. So maybe the path that he is on isn't the correct path for him, is the way I'm hearing it.
it could, but it could also be like the way that you are looking at your long term goals.
Okay.
Like the way,
So they're saying
like
settle
the
for
way-
mediocrity.
No, like the way that
Middle
it could
class.
be the way that you're envisioning them, or the way that you want to pursue it.
May not be the way that I actually get there.
It may not be the way that you actually
I could see that.
get
Okay.
to that actual point.
Shit, as long as I fucking make it, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's not saying that you're not.
All right, that's good. It's not like saying like you're actually a hanged man, and you know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, it's just saying to take a moment to look. But I would look at.
I wish I would have got a love card. There's no love girl. There's not like a. You sure you didn't hide another one like a love interest coming in somewhere? Another bonus card. I didn't get a love interest card.
I'm not surprised.
But it may, like what it could be saying is the different like what you need to look at. It may be something in the past, like before that turning point, because that might be why it got the nostalgia card.
Okay.
That's
So
interesting.
it could be saying to take a look at where you came, what happened before the turning point.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
That's true because maybe this sounds kind of weird, but before I got into a damn relationship, you know what I'm saying? I was on a good path, grinding it out, doing my thing. Then a woman comes in. No disrespect to the ladies, but a woman comes in and just derailed me. You know, I end up having a kid. You know what I'm saying? What?
Well, you gotta balance.
I gotta work on that. I gotta work on that.
That is the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is the balance card.
Okay. Well, I wish I would have got.
It's probably on the table.
Yeah, I needed the love interest card. That's what I was looking
And
for.
it's actually funny when you talk about getting the Devil card.
Uh huh.
Oh,
the
shit.
Devil card upright represents
I didn't even know that was a card. I was
That
just
is
throwing
the
it.
card.
Okay.
It's the card. And it's funny that you said the card because that card is kind of like sort of illusion, but not really. It's a card where you feel like you're being held back and you're trapped by external force that you can't control, but you actually can. It's like.
But I didn't get that one.
No, you didn't get that one, but it's funny that you mentioned that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like the example that I use is like a drug addict.
Okay.
Like they feel like they're like you're trapped by your.
Oh yeah, like
Like
they're
they're-
I got you.
Sucked by addiction.
I
I
can't
can't.
do anything
Right.
because of this addiction.
Right.
But you have.
You got to battle through it.
Right.
Yeah, you do have the power to break that addiction.
Yeah.
The devil card a lot of times is shown to people, and they're chained to the devil, but he's not actually like holding it.
Interesting.
That's
Interesting.
like
That's
that.
wild.
So I thought it was funny that you like
Well-
mentioned that card with the dream.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Well,
Are you
we're getting
interested?
towards the end here. We're at 52 minutes, so we're
Maybe
gonna.
after the show, she'll give you a private session.
Yeah, you give her a private reading.
$32.50 for it. Your first
$29.99. Get
That's
your
right.
first reading, Timbo. You just flick this off. But really, honestly, Danielle, it was a pleasure meeting you, and thank you so
Very
much
interesting.
for
I
coming.
agree.
And like,
That's-
it was fun. More than anything else, it was fun. And even let's just say.
I think we can all take away something.
Well,
from
that's what I'm
this.
saying. Like, even if you were to say, "Hey, I have no belief in this," or "I don't know, this is nothing," right? If you like anybody was to say that, it's at the bare minimum, it gets the wheel spinning. You know what I mean?
It
And like
does.
it gets you thinking, like, okay, well, what can I do? Like, or maybe I do need to start looking. Like, it just offers a new perspective, regardless of how that you may be able. Like, it's part of like a creative process, I think. So I really enjoyed this. I thought you were spot on with almost everything, the dream stuff, like
especially
yeah.
my general reading. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's so, like, I mean,
It was
nail
on point,
head.
and
Nail on head.
she says she just
How you
calls
doing
you the
there,
cards.
Zanab?
What do I need to tell them? What do I need to
Zanab.
tell them? Hey, Zanab, can you ask a question? Sure. We're about to wrap up the show.
Yeah,
We'll
ask
see if we
away.
can able to help. What you got?
Dun, dun, dun. We await the question. But I'm interested to see.
Yeah,
the
I'm
question.
interested as well. But again, like it was really cool of you to come out and do this. And like I said, that's part of the reason I want to do this podcast is because you get to meet people, talk to different folks, and like
Right, like I don't think I ever would have this opportunity if it won't for
Yeah.
sitting in this chair.
or unless I texted that
29.95.
800 number to get Cleo or somebody on the line.
Your California
And you don't
psychic
know
at the-
what that
at
is,
your
you know what I'm
first
saying?
reading.
At least like Cleo's like, no, I will tell you your future, and all that stuff. At least with you're like, hey, look, I'm gonna be straight forthcoming. This is what I'm going off the intuition and instincts here. I'm going off the cards, but I'm not like a psychic or I don't have like I don't talk to the dead. Like you're very forthcoming about your ability. You know what I mean? So I think that was very awesome. So.
Does Usman feel guilty about the way he treated me and his future? And
Who is Usman?
Usman is the guy that punched Masvidal and put him on the mat. He's a UFC champion fighter and like welterweight or something.
This is what you call an Easter egg.
Yeah.
This is what you call an Easter egg.
It's not even an Easter egg. This is just not really.
No, it's a legit. It's so.
What do you mean? Is it a legit? It's
I'm
not legitimate.
because I
about
know who this person is here.
All right, so it's not legitimate. This is
No, it's a
clearly-
legitimate question.
How?
Because I can't go into details, but
And his future intent. Does he? And his future. How he treated me and his future intentions.
so
someone
basically, let's
must have made a
replace it
bet.
this way. No bet.
All right.
This is how she doesn't read the future or doesn't have. I don't think, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, but she doesn't have the insights into somebody's intentions, right? Or would you say you could? Because this is what this person is asking. Does her boyfriend or her man or that she's interested in feel guilty about the way he's treated her and his future intentions? Like, so does he feel guilty
Why
about it,
ask
or
the
the way
question?
that the things are going? Do you think he feels guilty about that process?
Why would you mask the question? No one knows who that person is but you.
Yeah, I know.
So why mask the question? Just speak plainly if you want a clear response. Like, I'm bothered by the question.
Trying to be low key.
But I just don't understand. You try to come in under the radar, you're going to get under the radar responses.
Yeah, we'll abandon. Let's not answer. We're not answering. No, abandon.
No.
Abandon. Don't
Abandon
give them the
ship.
satisfaction.
Nope.
Nonetheless, I was glad to have you. Thank you so much, Danielle, for being here. It was a real pleasure.
And I think we plugged a way for her people to
And
contact her.
if they want to contact you, you said you're okay if we give their email, right? And then so we have her email in the description of the video. If you want to email Danielle, then you go
Dream
ahead.
interpretations. I don't know if she might be able to do a general reading and just send you something. I don't know.
I can do what the Etsy. I have one. I'm never.
Okay.
That's fine.
She has an Etsy.
But I do. It's called Eden Solstice.
Eden Solstice. Okay. Well, if you want more information about our Etsy, you can email her. It's in the description. She'll get you all that information. But really a pleasure having you. It was really fun. Thank you for being here. You know what I mean? It was pretty cool. And like Jay said,
ride home tonight on the bike.
yeah, he's gonna be contemplating shit, looking up at the stars. Just don't get sidetracked. Don't do what we were talking about earlier. How the hell did I get here? Yeah. Don't whiskey throttle either. Yeah. Well, all right. Thank you so much, guys. We're gonna see you next week. We have another guest. It's a musical artist next week. I believe his name is Various Layers. So I'm gonna get
Various Layers.
Yeah, I'm gonna get with him to make sure we're still on for next week. But if not, we're still gonna have a pretty good show for you. But that's all I got.
Yep. Until next week, guys.